Question 10.45 says, for each of the following changes at equilibrium, indicate whether the equilibrium shifts in the directions of the product, reactants, or if there's no change at all. So the reaction is C2H4, which is ethylene gas. It's used as a fruit ripener, plus chlorine gas, which gives you this dichloroethane. So this molecule, C2H4Cl2, that's called dichloroethane, and it also gives you some heat. So we know right away, just by seeing that if there's heat given off, this must be an exothermic reaction because heat is released. So in essence, in an exothermic reaction, you can think of heat as one of the products. So not only is this molecule here, not only is that a product, but heat is also a product of the reaction. So let's take a look at A. It says if we increase the temperature of the reaction, and I've rewritten it here on the bottom, if I increase the temperature of the reaction, which way is my equilibrium going to shift? Well, if I'm increasing the amount of heat, what that's going to do is it's going to when you increase the amount of heat, it's going to push the equilibrium back towards the direction of the reactants to balance that out, because I have more of something that's on the product side, so it's going to have to shift back towards the reactants. So the answer for A is that it's going to shift back towards the reactants, so I'll just put an arrow like this. Then if I take a look at B, it says, what happens if I decrease the volume of the reaction container? Well, this is kind of interesting because all the molecules involved in this reaction, they're all gases. So you notice this is a gas, and this is a gas. On this side, on the reactant side of the equation, I have a total of 1 mole of C2H4 and 1 mole of Cl2. So that gives me a total of 2 moles of gas. Whereas on this side, I only have 1 mole of gas. And you might remember that the greater amount of gas that I have, the more space it's going to take up. You might have memorized that 1 mole of gas is STP, takes up 22.414 liters. Anyhow, so if I decrease the volume of the container, the equilibrium is going to be shifted such that it will go towards the side of the products, which take up less space. So the answer for B is it's going to shift towards the products. For C, when I add a catalyst, you probably read this in chapter 10, this is going to have no effect. So this won't have any effect whatsoever on an equilibrium. What a catalyst does is it increases the rate of a reaction by providing an alternate pathway and lowering activation energy, but it doesn't have any effect on the equilibrium itself. So let's move on to D, and it says, what happens if I add more Cl2? So if I throw in some more chlorine into my reaction mixture, so that means I'm going to increase the concentration or increase the concentration of one of the reactants. So what that's going to do is that's going to shift the equilibrium towards the products to balance that out. So again, in D, it's going to shift towards the products. So I hope you find this helpful. This question actually deals with the concept of Le Chatelier's principle, and it's a good idea to have this concept down once you get ready to write exam 10.